Question 351. What methods do you use to promote academic integrity and discourage cheating in your courses? I promote academic integrity by clearly outlining expectations and consequences related to academic dishonesty in my syllabus. I incorporate varied assessment formats, such as open book exams and collaborative projects, to reduce the temptation to cheat. Additionally, I foster a culture of honesty by discussing the value of integrity and its long-term benefits. Regularly engaging students in discussions about ethics in their field reinforces the importance of maintaining high standards, thus minimizing instances of cheating. Question 352. How do you adapt your teaching during unexpected situations, such as a sudden shift to remote learning? In the event of an unexpected shift to remote learning, I quickly assess the course structure and identify key objectives that need to be maintained. I leverage online tools, like video conferencing and learning management systems, to recreate the classroom environment. I prioritize clear communication and provide students with a structured schedule to adjust to the new format. By remaining flexible and responsive to student needs, I ensure continuity in learning while fostering engagement through virtual interactions. Question 353. Describe your philosophy on lifelong learning and how you encourage this mindset in your students. I believe lifelong learning is essential in today's rapidly changing world. I model this by actively pursuing professional development and sharing my learning experiences with students. I encourage curiosity and self-directed learning by providing resources for exploring topics beyond the curriculum. I also emphasize the importance of adaptability and continuous skill acquisition in their careers. By fostering a growth mindset and demonstrating the value of lifelong learning, I inspire students to view education as an ongoing journey. Question 354. How would you approach designing a curriculum for a diverse group of students with varying skill levels in a community college setting? Designing a curriculum requires incorporating differentiated instruction to accommodate diverse skill levels. I would start by assessing students' prior knowledge through diagnostic assessments. The curriculum would include varied instructional methods, such as hands-on projects, collaborative group work, and online resources, ensuring that all students can engage meaningfully. Regular feedback sessions would help tailor instruction and provide additional support for struggling students, while advanced learners can work on enrichment activities. I would also integrate culturally relevant examples to resonate with students' backgrounds, fostering an inclusive learning environment. Question 355. Describe your experience with technology integration in the classroom. What tools have you found effective? I have integrated various technologies to enhance student engagement and learning outcomes. Tools such as learning management systems, LMS, like Canvas or Moodle, allow me to distribute resources and track progress effectively. I also utilize interactive platforms like Kahoot for quizzes and Poll Everywhere for real-time feedback. For coding courses, I've incorporated version control systems like GitHub, enabling students to manage projects collaboratively. Additionally, I encourage the use of cloud-based tools like Google Workspace for collaborative assignments. This integration helps students develop technical skills while fostering a dynamic learning environment. Question 356. How do you assess the effectiveness of your teaching strategies in a community college classroom? To assess the effectiveness of my teaching strategies, I employ a combination of formative and summative assessments. Formative assessments, such as quizzes and class discussions, provide immediate feedback on student understanding. Summative assessments, including projects and exams, evaluate overall learning outcomes at the end of a unit. Furthermore, I solicit student feedback through anonymous surveys to gauge engagement and comprehension. I also analyze class performance metrics to identify trends or areas for improvement. This data-driven approach allows me to adjust my teaching methods, ensuring that they are effective and responsive to student needs. Question 357. Can you explain how you would handle a situation where a student is struggling academically? When a student struggles academically, my first step is to initiate a one-on-one conversation to understand their challenges. This dialogue helps identify any underlying issues, such as personal circumstances or gaps in foundational knowledge. I would then provide tailored support, which may include additional tutoring sessions, recommending resources, or adjusting assignments to better align with their capabilities. I also encourage the student to utilize campus resources like academic advising or counseling services. Throughout this process, maintaining open communication is crucial, as it fosters a supportive learning environment and encourages the student to seek help when needed. Question 358. What strategies do you employ to foster an inclusive classroom environment? Fostering an inclusive classroom requires intentional strategies. I begin by establishing ground rules that promote respect and openness. Incorporating diverse perspectives and materials in the curriculum ensures that all students see themselves represented. I use cooperative learning strategies, such as group projects, to encourage collaboration among students from different backgrounds. Additionally, I regularly solicit feedback from students about their experiences and perceptions of inclusivity in the classroom. By responding to this input, I adapt my teaching methods and materials to better serve the diverse needs of my students, creating a welcoming and equitable learning space. Question 359. Describe your familiarity with continuous integration and continuous deployment (CCD) practices in an educational context. My familiarity with CCD practices is primarily rooted in teaching software development concepts. I emphasize the importance of these practices during coding courses, where I demonstrate how automated testing and deployment streamline the development process. I introduce tools like Jenkins and GitLab C, highlighting how they facilitate the integration of code changes and automate testing workflows. By incorporating CCD into projects, students learn best practices for maintaining code quality and reducing deployment risks. This practical application not only enhances their technical skills, but also prepares them for industry standards, making them more competitive in the job market. Question 360. How do you stay current with educational trends and technologies relevant to community college instruction? Staying current with educational trends and technologies is essential for effective teaching. I regularly engage in professional development through workshops, webinars, and conferences focused on higher education pedagogy and technology. Subscribing to relevant journals and online forums keeps me informed about the latest research and innovations in teaching and learning. Additionally, I collaborate with colleagues to share insights and best practices, fostering a culture of continuous improvement. I also experiment with emerging educational tools and platforms in my courses, allowing me to evaluate their effectiveness firsthand and adapt my teaching strategies accordingly.